powerful.
Funny dancing guy.
Genuine as well.
Destructive.
Determined.
But humble.
The first time I met Digby, he came into Wallaby camp and I was actually his roommate. And I've been in the Wallabies for a little while, and at the time if you share a room, and one of the rooms was smaller than the other, so I had the big room which had the washing machine and the kitchen and everything. So at the end of the day I went and asked him if he'd, I said, do you want me to wash your clothes or whatever? He's gone, yeah, okay. Put him in, he was excited, he's like, I can't believe this, man. A white man's washing my clothes.
Digby Ioane is one of rugby union's household names. An exciting back, he's conquered all before him. Super Rugby and Australian international honours have now led him to Paris and French giant Stade Français, an altogether new challenge. Stade are a sleeping top 14 giant, trying desperately to get back to the top in a league which they once ruled. After injury against the Lions last summer, Ioane weighed up his options. Stade came calling. But why Paris?
This is just one of those last minute. You know, I didn't plan things when I was playing in the Lions tour, and I just wanted something different in life, and I guess I put myself out there in the UK and France, and they're one of the first team that, you know, said, yeah, we'll take you on, and it's and you know, when you hear the word Paris, it's, you know, it's very exciting.
But Stade is not all French. In fact, Ioane's come across some familiar faces and even some old foes, including Samoan international centre Paul Williams.
I had the pleasure of playing against him when he was playing for Australia, so I know he's a very good player, and I was happy for the club to hear that we were getting a good winger.
Former Wallaby David Lyons is also with the Parisians.
When I heard he was coming here, I was very pleased, and it's always good. We're a club that's building, trying to get back to what we used to be, and we need players like Digby at this club.
Foe turned friend, South Africa's Morne Steyn.
I was actually looking forward to play in the same team as Digby, because usually I was in that 10 channel where he always attacked. So yeah, it's awesome when I heard Digby is coming to Stade Français, and more guys speaking English here make it easier for me, so yeah.
A former Queensland Red, Ioane remembers the duels with Lions.
It's funny, you play against your enemies. Like Lions was one of my enemies. He used to play for New South Wales, and you know, I'm not a fan of them. But we had that Queensland versus New South Wales, and you get the Morne Steyn, you know, playing against, you know, South Africa. At the end of the day, they're all your mates.
54 caps for the Springboks. Steyn was also in Super Rugby.
Make jokes about it, you know, always when the Reds play against the Bulls or Australia against South Africa now. I think Digby is on the receiving end of all the high balls and the bombs from me and our number 9. So yeah, we just talk how they practice the high balls catching for the week before they play us, and yeah, we catch a good laugh about it.
Nowadays, he enjoys a cruise through Paris, but Ioane is a long way from home. Born in New Zealand to parents with Samoan origin, Ioane moved to Melbourne when he was 5 years old. He was then snapped up by Western Force in 2006. The move to the Reds followed 2 years later, as did a Super Rugby title. So what's the secret to performing at the highest level?
For me, it's just to, you know, play my best footy, like trying to give my 110%, you know, like every game. Trying to learn my mates, you know, how they play, so I can, you know, base my game around them.
Ioane has many admirers, not least his former international colleague Josh Valentine, who's in France's second tier with Narbonne.
When the team's in trouble or you need a spark, he's got the X factor. He's individually brilliant. When something's not on, he can just get the ball and beat 5 players, run over 2 blokes and score a try and turn a match. And if you've got guys like that in your team, it can really help you change a game.
Drew Mitchell, now of Toulon, praises the winger's physicality.
He's a very explosive athlete. You know, I guess his physique lends itself to that, but you know, I guess a lot of hard work goes into that. He's one guy that loves the gym and working out and and getting the results, but the results that he deserves because he works so hard at it. But he then transfers that hard work onto the field as well. He's one of those guys that he's a winger, but he doesn't just sort of park himself out in the wing. He'll go looking for it, but at the same time he'll be out wide as well to finish off any opportunities that arise as well.
Stade's head coach, the former Argentine fly half Gonzalo Quesada, feels he has a player with many talents.
Honestly, in my head, Digby was a great player for good conditions, with plenty of space and room for using his speed and his technique. And we were surprised to see that he can play like a bulldog too, and he's playing low and being aggressive and winning those one-on-ones in defense and in attack.
He's certainly very good with ball in hand, really fast footwork and ability to beat a man, great attacking player.
A former Australian lock, now in charge of Narbonne, says Ioane's work rate matches his talent.
Digby's work rate is exceptional now. He's progressed through to understand his capabilities and his limitations. His double efforts are pretty good in general play, and his skill level's improved. Instead of Queensland, probably when he was playing for Queensland, they structured a lot of plays around him, attacking in and around the ruck area because of his strength and speed and aggressivity on the field. But I would say, for Australia, certainly he was able to not only be a finisher, he was a creator as well.
There's another former Wallaby at European champions Toulon, Matt Giteau, a 92 cap utility back, was with Ioane at Western Force.
Well, he always wants the ball, so as a ball player, that's something that you enjoy. If there are no options on, you can just give Digby the ball and he'll run into 4 players. He's that type of guy that's always hungry for work. He works very hard. And as a ball player, that's the type of player you want around you.
Ioane has worn the famous green and gold of Australia 35 times and has scored an impressive 11 tries. During his career, he's fed off some high-class fly halves, most notably his former Reds teammate and Wallaby international Quade Cooper. Former Bulls number 10 Steyn is now his Stade club mate, but it may take time for them to be on the same wavelength in the top 14.
It takes time to build a combination. I think obviously he's probably played with those guys, I think, about 6 seasons now. And for someone, especially the backs, it takes a long time to build combination. We still don't quite have that there. You still see a lot of the individual brilliance from Morne Steyn, from Digby, but we're yet to bring that together collectively. And once we do that, I think we can do really good things.
At the Reds, he formed a very good combination with Quade and Will. He worked quite hard on the inside of both those players, so I'm sure he obviously played a lot more games with Digby, so they'd understand obviously a lot more about him.
He's a guy that likes to be involved. You can see, in previous years with his combination with Will Genia and Quade Cooper at the Queensland Reds, once he gets to know a player and how they play and how he can best run off it, I think that's when you start to see the best out of Digby.
Given time, Quesada's confident Stade will benefit from a blossoming Steyn-Ioane combination.
I think it's not a matter of which style of number 10. I think it's the more they play together, the more they will feel things they love both doing and the gaps that they create together. We are working so that things come as natural as it was with an excellent player as Quade, also with Morne and Jules.
Still just 28 years old, Ioane has time on his side to become a real legend of the game. The Wellington-born wing is also just as adept at outside centre, having starred for the Reds in the 13 jersey. So we know about Ioane, the rugby player, but what about Ioane as a person?
I suppose if he's not in the room, there's a sense of dullness when he's in the room. Everything seems to be happy and bright. He's always laughing and he enjoys his push-ups and sit-ups. Posing in the mirror's another one, and really enjoys that one.
No, I think he's sort of an outgoing person. He likes to have a joke and talk to everyone. So in that sense, he's able to get to know everyone well.
Mitchell, with 63 Australia caps, was at Western Force alongside Giteau and Ioane.
He's a jovial kind of guy. He likes to joke. He's quite an extrovert in a way, but at the same time he can also be quite hidden and shy as well. I think once you get to know him, he really starts to open up. You can see it with when he's in a comfortable environment. He starts to dance, he starts to joke. He gets on the music and I think he calls himself DJ Rat.
Despite being a star of the game, Digby appears to be a calming influence.
He's always relaxed, easygoing, funny guy. He's just good to be around. I think he doesn't take himself too seriously. He doesn't take rugby too seriously. So I think he certainly helps, you know, me relax, and I'm sure the other players around him relax when you're not on the training pitch.
Ioane was picked for the Wallabies A-team by Eddie Jones in 2005 before making his Test debut against Wales in Brisbane 2 years later. He also played the first Test against the Lions last summer before being injured. His 2-year deal with Stade effectively ends his international career for now, but he perhaps has unfinished business.
You do have that in the back of your head just because of the World Cup. Like I know the last World Cup was it was a good experience. 2011, it was my first time, and you know you do have that thought behind you, just thinking to put that jersey on again. So I don't know, see what happens. The main goal is to finish this season here and see what happens. Like you still have goals that you want to set, you still have dreams, and I guess you gotta enjoy the moment. Like, I don't plan things, it just happens.
Rugby provides Ioane with a release on the field, but off the field he has other agendas. Digby is a deeply religious Catholic. He prays at night, before breakfast and before a match, and it's all down to his family upbringing.
As a little kid being raised from mum and dad as a Catholic boy, I guess it is important for me, because I always say my prayers every night to bless me, because tomorrow's never promised. That's why I always say, I'm just glad to be around the next day. God always has his ways, like I didn't expect to be here. I thought I was going to be in Australia for the whole of my life, but I don't plan my life, it just happens on the spot. So for me, if I go back home to Australia, I think it'll be a new me, a new person.
Ioane also has another love in his life. His love of tattoos has led to him covering his upper body and arms in various designs. Aside from a small telling off from his mother, the Stade Flyer seems at ease with his body art.
I'm a big fan of tattoos since I was 18, to be honest, around 18, 19. And then I just went crazy. First tattoo was the Asian writing, and then you get the wings. And then I just got like rosy beads, and then just all connected. And then eventually mum told me, geez, son, you got too many tattoos. And I said, yeah, I do have too many tattoos.
Is it ice? Does it think some things are through ice?
Oh, it's like when you catch the ball. Nah, really. I just like looking at myself, to be honest.
Yeah.